Let's talk about London. It's Britain's capital and political, cultural and financial centre. London is home to over 9 million Londoners. It started with a river and has grown over the centuries, dwarfing the UK's other urban centres and becoming a major world city. London has faced many challenges over the years, but now it faces its biggest threat: climate change. Climate change is disrupting habitats, changing weather patterns, and causing sea level rise globally. Each of these changes will impact London and the areas around it, changing life in the city as we know it. London must adapt and also lead the way for other cities to become more sustainable. Why must London take action on climate change? London consumes a huge amount of energy. It needs to cater for residents and tourists, as well as the people working in the many businesses and buildings. Imagine how many computers are running every day, how much heating or air conditioning, how many light bulbs are left on. Much of this energy, including a vast amount of London's commercial and domestic heating, is generated from fossil fuels. Burning fossil fuels contributes to the enhanced greenhouse effect, which is the cause of climate change. So London needs to reduce how much energy it uses and increase how much of it comes from renewable sources. How can you reduce the amount of energy you use? Waste is another massive issue. Every year, London produces 7 million tonnes of household, commercial and industrial solid waste. Historically, much of London's waste has ended up in landfill or is incinerated, but that isn't sustainable. And although very little of London's waste now goes to landfill, much of it is still incinerated, which is hugely wasteful. Although many London boroughs have made huge efforts to tackle the waste problem, it's not enough. In order to reduce waste, Londoners need to reduce, reuse, and recycle. What actions have you taken to reduce, reuse, and recycle? Every year, thousands of Londoners die early due to the health impacts of air pollution. In 2019, air pollution contributed to the premature deaths of 4,000 Londoners. The major cause? Vehicle traffic. Thousands of cars enter the city every day, releasing fumes that pollute the air. More people using public transport helps reduce the number of cars, and walking or cycling has other benefits beyond just lowering emissions, such as improving our health and well-being. How will you make your next journey in London? To keep up with the needs of its growing population, London needs to build over 40,000 affordable homes, not just once, but every year. To do this sustainably is a huge challenge. Housing needs to be low carbon, energy and water efficient, and climate resilient. And we can't just put new housing anywhere. Enhancing green spaces and protecting the city's wildlife is just as important. Finding the right balance of solutions won't be easy. What are people already doing to improve the city? Across London, many different projects are doing their bit to address climate change. Some are led by businesses or councils, others by groups of local people. They range from community gardens to smart city technology. An example of a company that works to lower emissions is PaveGen. PaveGen has created flooring that turns kinetic energy into off-grid electricity and data. This innovative installation powers LED lights, sounds, and an energy data feed. And charities such as Food Cycle are reducing waste by collecting leftover food from supermarkets to create meals for the local community. In 2020, they saved over 359 tonnes of food from being wasted across the UK. That's equivalent to 180 London taxis. Many initiatives are community-led. The London Cycling Campaign wants to make cycling in London easier for everyone to ease traffic congestion and lower emissions.
We're working with the City of London here, and we're working across London in all sorts of places with local boroughs, with TfL, etc., to really push better schemes. Here at Bank Junction, we see a scheme where from 7 till 7, pretty much every day during the week, there's no traffic apart from buses and cyclists. This junction shows what can be done and what we hope will be increasingly done in the next 10 to 20 years.
Living Streets is a UK charity for everyday walking. They're currently campaigning for cities to be more walking friendly.
As well as having individual health benefits, walking also helps to reduce things like social isolation and helps to improve community cohesion by building our cities around people and places rather than cars and roads. Walking also has numerous environmental benefits. By taking cars off the road, we're helping to reduce pollution and increase air quality.
All of these schemes show how Londoners are doing their bit to reduce their carbon footprint and take action against climate change. There are many more initiatives in London that we haven't mentioned. What's happening in your local area? And what can you do to help?